My name is Sergio Willis, and I am a writer, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a comic book a writerer, my Jabilla comic here, my Adventures of the Super Secret Ultra Gamer Grandma comic book, my Dragon Mace comic book, Dragon Mace variant cover here. I got to do number 2 because a few people bought some issues from me, man. Hey, I used to always wonder why the hell magazines and comic books are so freaking expensive. And now I know, because some companies have actually gone out of business. Some magazines don't even publish physically anymore because the cost of printing is just so crazy just to make a profit. You have to charge like so much. And then to pay for printing is like, so I printed like 100, I printed like 100 issues of the Dragon Mace. And that was like almost like $500. It's like, oh my God. So I only printed a few copies of the Jabilla and the Gamer Granny, and those are already gone. I gave a few away, because you got to promote. The tree doesn't make a sound in the forest if it falls and there's nobody around to hear it. But I got to figure out, I guess if I'm printing like the copies, I got to make sure that I'm selling the copies that I'm printing. Otherwise, I'm just not going to do it. And then I got to get a website. I'm new at all this stuff. All these doing comic books. It's all new for me. It's like a whole nother world. But I guess I also got to tap into my demographic. Like, what's my demographic? Who wants to read about a Black LGBT supernaturally empowered character who has a vampire boyfriend? Like, I got to figure all that out. Another thing I got to think about is this really family friendly? I don't think it is. I think it's safe to say that. Now, Gamer Granny and Jabilla, that's definitely family friendly. So I can market that. But I got to figure out like something, maybe like a teaser. Is Flash animation still a thing or no?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe like a little. I've seen Marvel do these little trailers now of like some of their books, like trailers.
Yeah, they do like 2D animated trailers.
Yeah, I've seen some. I mean, it's real nice. People are visually stimulated. So I've got a lot of stuff going on. Needless to say, I've got the comics. I got. I do every day. I do a video of me playing a gameplay. I'm working on a full length film. Hopefully, I'll be able to start filming that before the year is out. The script is done, but I want to do a comic book adaptation of it first. I think that'll actually help out a lot. I think that'll actually help the filming process. These people can see how things look. I had to get storyboards done for a cartoon that I'm doing. I'm working on a cartoon. I think it's about maybe 3 or 4 minutes long. And cartoon it's about Bigfoot. And it's serving as like a teaser, or not really a teaser. It's more like, my idea is to do a live action Bigfoot film eventually. So this cartoon is maybe like a prologue. So it tells the story of a young man who's got like fire powers, and his girlfriend is kidnapped he thinks it's Bigfoot, but it's not actually Bigfoot. So I actually shot a live action little trailer about 2-3 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. So the name of the project is Satchwatch and the Mythology Sisterhood. I know it's a lot. Satchwatch and the Mythology Sisterhood. And it revolves around Bigfoot teaming up with a group of bounty hunters, some of who have powers to take down a ruthless villainess. I'm not going to say too much because I want to give the story away. I don't want anybody to steal my story. But I don't know. It's not like people can't really steal your story if it's already out there, right?
No.
Yeah, I guess that's true. This time, I want to talk about some of my goals and some of the things that I'm planning. I want to do I have some ideas for Nerds with Badges, some things that I want to do. And I think I did one episode where I went to Comic-Con here in Los Angeles, but I want to go to Comic-Con in Detroit next month. So I've already got the time off, And I got to like start looking at what flights prices are. Probably stay at a hotel. I don't know if I'm going to take anyone with me, but last time I was in Detroit, actually, there was a Comic-Con. That's kind of a sad story, but long story short, 2018, I went to Detroit it was like a little birthday present to myself. Usually I would go to Detroit to like just kind of, it was like my getaway place, my getaway spot. I stayed at a hotel for a couple of days, and then I went and stayed with a friend of mine. So when he came to pick me up from the hotel, we stopped downtown, and there was like a lot of stuff going on. It was a comic book convention going on. There was a car show. There was an African festival going on. So he parks the car in this like deserted looking parking place in the building. The building had a lot of activity going on. It was a hotel and casino. And he parked his car like way away from everybody else. So I'm like, dude, is there like some zombies gonna come run around the corner or something? So anyway, we get back to the car after we, did a little shopping, had a little brunch or whatever. We get back to the car, we go back to the house. So I open the trunk, and my backpack, this big ass backpack I had, it had like all my clothes, my laptop, my iPad, birth certificate, passport, everything was gone. And I was thinking that maybe I left it in the hotel. So I called the hotel, and there was nothing. I don't know. I can't remember. I think I called security at the hotel and casino that we had parked in, and I had to report my stuff stolen before they would look at the video or something like that. I think this happened on a Saturday or a Sunday, but I somehow was able to get on the phone with a cop, and I explained everything that happened. And then the security told me that someone had basically opened the car and went inside and took like all my stuff, man. And so it was like, that was the last time I went to Detroit. I was just so distraught. Just imagine taking a little birthday trip, and something like that happens. I mean, like I had like no clothes. It was just a disaster. But anyway, we were walking around before that happened. We were walking around in the hotel and casino, and there were a bunch of people walking around in like outfits and like cosplayers. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I had no idea that Comic-Con was that weekend. So I always wanted to go back and just experience Detroit Comic-Con. Detroit, it has such a big, it's just the history of Detroit, as far as especially music, is just incredible. This has always had like a special place in my heart. I'm gonna get back to comic books because I kind of got a little sidetracked. I was talking about comic books when I first started, I believe, and how they've kind of taken over my life, because the average comic book now is like $5.99, I think. So I'm just sticking to the magical stuff. So it's on the Marvel side, it's been Blade, and on the DC side, it's been Wonder Woman. Now, if there was a Swamp Thing and Constantine comic book, I'd be reading that too, but there isn't. There hasn't been a Constantine series in years. I don't know why. X-Men is interesting to me. X-Men will always have a special place in my heart because, the whole being an outsider, facing discrimination. It's a lot of things going on in X-Men that I think probably resonate with minorities and probably LGBT. And I know that some of the things that are in the X-Men come from the civil rights movements. That goes without saying. Storm has been getting a lot of attention lately. But like I said, I really want to just focus on the magical aspect of comic books. So I haven't really been buying a lot of X-Men stuff, and they've been doing like a big storyline right now. Long story short, all the mutants in the world were living on this island that was like alive, and it was like paradise. And the mutants, and their wonderful generosity, gave all the humans incredible technology and medicine. And then bad humans came along, and they messed up the medicine that the mutants gave the other humans, and blackmailed the mutants and killed a bunch of them. And now X-Men are like back where they were maybe 40 years ago, where everybody hates mutants and they're all like in hiding. And so the X-Men comic books have gone through a big shakeup. Now, what's going on in Blade right now, I'm just going to give a quick little recap of what's going on in Blade, and then I'll move on. But Blade has got a power boost right now because of Dracula. Dracula gave Blade some of his blood. So now Blade can turn into animals and turn into mist. And he has to fight this evil woman that he accidentally set loose on the earth. And she's like basically gonna destroy everything unless he can put her back in the bottle that he took her out of. Now, the other comic book that I've been reading, like I said I was into the magical aspect of Marvel and DC. So now on DC side, it's Wonder Woman. And what's been going on in Wonder Woman is, I think last year this storyline began, and there was an Amazon, and she was in a bar, and I guess some guys were like flirting with her, and I guess they assaulted her or something, and she killed like 19 people. So this created like a big incident where now the United States has basically declared war on Amazons, and all the Amazons that are living in the United States are being deported back to their mascara. And Wonder Woman got involved. They tried to take her in, and it didn't turn out so well. And so now the entire United States is coming for Wonder Woman, and there's a bad guy behind the scenes who's pulling the strings and making all this stuff happen. And things have gotten so bad that the other Wonder people, who are Wonder Girl, Cassie Sandsmark, who's actually Zeus's daughter. I thought Wonder Woman was Zeus's daughter, but because they retconned her origin. But anyway, so you got Cassie Sandsmark, you have Donna Troy, who's also a Wonder Girl, and then there's a Latina Wonder Girl. I think her name is Yara Flor. I was reading her book for a while. So they're actually going to help Wonder Woman in this situation. So that's what's going on with Wonder Woman right now. I don't know if maybe some of you are old enough to remember the show Good Times. Well, it used to come on years ago. It was about a poor Black family struggling in the hood. Netflix just started producing, Seth MacFarlane is involved. It's this cartoon called Good Times. And it's nothing like the TV show. I mean, they're all broke-ass Black folks, but ghetto. It's the most racially offensive thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I couldn't even laugh. I mean, I'm not like super critical of movies and TV shows and things like a lot of people I know, because some people accuse me of being too nice. But I mean, I remember there was a movie that came out years ago called Bamboozled, and it was starred Damon Wayans and Jada Pinkett, and it was produced by Spike Lee and directed by Spike Lee. The premise, it was a TV exec who hated his job so much, he produced the most racially offensive film that he could in the hopes of getting fired. And the show became a hit. So I don't know, maybe that's what Seth MacFarlane was trying to do with this Good Times cartoon, because man, it's so bad. But they bleep out the N-word, when they say it, which I think is interesting, because that's, man, I tell you, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel kind of let down by the DCU, man, honestly. I think they've been kicking ass with animation. They've just been kicking ass and taking names in animation. And Marvel has just been like the opposite. Marvel's been kicking ass with the movies well until recently. But I feel that the DCU, a lot of their animated stuff, like what's going on with Constantine, and they are doing a new, I don't know, is James Gunn involved with that at all, or with the Constantine? Yeah, they're doing a Constantine, but obviously they're not going to use the guy that played him on the show, or I guess they're bringing back what's his name, David Duchovny. I mean, not David Duchovny, Jesus Christ, Keanu Reeves, Jesus. Where did I get David Duchovny from? Yeah, I feel, have you been watching any of the DC Universe, any of the cartoons?
I watched Crisis.
Did you see the one they did with the Ruby, the Justice League X Ruby, the anime? Oh my God, what's wrong with you, man? It was so good. It was like computer animated. Really, like the visuals I would compare, like, Jesus Christ, like it's almost like cell shaded kind of, but like basically the Justice League, they were transported to this like anime world. and they were kids. So they were kind of like, it was almost like alternate versions of who they were. Superman was a kid, and he had like a jacket, and yeah, you gotta check it out. It's called Justice League X Ruby, and there's two of them. And then they did there was a Batman one that came out. Trying to think, what was the last one? The last Batman one that they did. There's so many Batman ones, man. There's a lot of. There was one way it was Cthulhu one. Was there one with Cthulhu in it that came out recently?
Yeah, it was a Batman, and it's like in the 1800s or something.
Yeah, I think that was the last one that they did, right?
I don't know.
I think that was the last one they did. I know that you probably didn't like Batman Ninja, right?
I didn't watch that.
It was the animation, man, was just beautiful. This is beautiful. I mean, I liked it. I like crazy stuff. Like, it was out there, it was just out there.
If you were making Brave and the Bold, how would you make that? What do you think needs to be done for the Batman in the new universe?
Well, honestly, I wish that they had let Ben Affleck do a movie, but we'll never see that. Obviously, we will never see that. I like what they're doing with Pattinson, but I guess that's going to be a different Batman from the one that they're going to have in the regular DCU. I mean, I don't even think. I mean, who do you think would make a really good Batman right now? Probably be someone unknown.
Yeah. What do you hope the movie will be about?
Well, I mean, Brave and the Bold was usually Batman teaming up with other characters. I mean, traditionally it's him and Superman, but sometimes it's other characters, and the cartoon was just like it was so out there. I loved it. It was just outrageous and like old style. It would be really nice if they did something like that. If they did like something where he was just teaming up with different characters. But I think the movie's just going to be him and Batman, Superman and Batman. But I like did you ever watch the Brave and the Bold TV show, the cartoon?
Yes.
If they did something like that, and they did it like real stylish, like something like how that movie, The Shadow, how The Shadow was? It had that like almost like comic booky, or even like, what was that movie the movie that what's his name, Miller did? Like Sin City, if it was something like that in that style with Batman and other characters. That'd be really cool if they did something like that. But we really haven't seen anything like that movie-wise yet. We haven't really, other than Batman and Robin, he's never really teamed up with anyone. Maybe, the Justice League, yeah, but it's like a cop buddy movie. But that style would be visually, if they could do something like that, it would be incredible. I don't think they listen to people enough. I don't think they listen to people like me and like you, people that actually read the comic books. Because some of the decisions that they make, they hire these people to do the movies that don't even really have a connection with the characters or the concepts or the, like when they did Godzilla in '98, when they did that movie, they just hired like the hottest person at that moment, not somebody who actually had passion. Like when they did The Lord of the Rings and they did King Kong, they got the ultimate fanboy to do those movies. So they got like perfect stuff. I don't think that they should keep anything from personally, to answer your first question, like if I thought, what they should keep, I think they should just start over again, because it would just be too confusing to have a different Superman and have the same Wonder Woman over here, and then you have Aquaman over there, and it's the same person, and then it just be kind of weird. Unless they go the route which a lot of people are probably tired of, and you know what I'm going to say, right? The multiverse, which is what they do with a lot of stuff, But the multiverse was always a thing before it was a thing. But now I think they just kind of like they're maybe going a little bit too far with it in the movies. I thought that, and I know I might be in a minority here. I mean, I know a lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't like it. I loved Justice League Snyder Cut. I thought it was a masterpiece. I thought it was. As far as the worst, God, let me think now. I mean, damn, that's the worst. I don't know, man. I mean, it might have. I feel like I don't want to say it might have been Batgirl because we will never know how bad that movie really was or if it was actually enjoyable. I thought that Blue Beetle kind of fell short of what it should have been, and I'm a big fan of Blue Beetle. So when I saw the Blue Beetle trailer about 20 years ago, there was a trailer like maybe 15 or 20 years ago. They showed it, and then it just disappeared. There were some things about the movie that I did like, but I just thought the character was an asshole. I just thought, I don't think Jaime Reyes should be a jerk. I don't know. But I guess that's his character. But yeah, I'm trying to think of something else, but I can't. I mean, I know a lot of people probably would say Catwoman. So I don't know. I actually enjoy Catwoman, so what can you say? But Halle Berry is not really considered. Her version of the Catwoman is not. We don't even know who the new Catwoman is yet, I don't think. I mean, they're obviously not going to keep the Birds of Prey people. I mean, even I heard they were doing something with Black Canary, but yeah, I would have to say Blue Beetle, even though I'm a big Blue Beetle fan. I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but I just felt like there were things that they could have done differently. Even though I liked the Joker. I felt like the Joker was overrated. I do. I feel like it was overrated. But it was interesting. It kept me riveted, disgusted at times. But yeah, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Nerds with Badges. I will come back next time, and my plan is to have a review for Abigail because I'm probably going to go see that. If I don't go see it today, I'll probably go see it tomorrow. And there's some other stuff that I've been watching lately. I did a Dracula marathon recently with Christopher Lee. Jeez. I love those old movies. I did a Lord of the Rings Hobbit marathon, and I want to review Rebel Moon 2 when I finish watching part 2. I might have to go back and watch 1 again because I forgot a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm gone for now, and I won't take this long. I know it took a long time before I did a new episode, but my plan is to do at least a couple episodes a month going forward. So today is April the what? Today's 22nd. Jesus. So hopefully we can get in another episode within the next few weeks. Let us pray. Until then, God bless. Take care. And when you're stressed out in life, find something to focus on and let that be your life raft. That's it.